Hello everyone, another live video for you today, this time live from the Mertica 118 tower in the background, and also the TRX tower over there. And also this KL tower. So a lot of different towers around here. And yeah, I'm just enjoying the view. Sipping on my Mixu passion fruit tea. You know how I do. And this video is about how you'll never hear from the narcissist again. This video may not be for everyone. If it is for you, let it be for you. If it vibes with you, if it resonates with you, if you haven't heard from the narcissist for a while, and if you don't think you're going to hear from them ever again, if you believe that the signs are there, then let this be for you. And let me let you know the reasons why you'll never hear from the narcissist again. Because I know they can be a bit mysterious when they pull away. They don't reveal the reasons directly to you. They don't give you closure. Narcissists are notorious for doing that. They don't give you the answers that you're looking for. And that's how you know that you're dealing with someone narcissistic. Because if they weren't so narcissistic, then they would have empathy, compassion, enough to actually share with you what's really going on. So that lack of empathy, it really reveals to you that yes, you're dealing with someone narcissistic. Because they didn't give you the answers, they didn't give you closure. They just disappeared all of a sudden. And yeah, you haven't heard from them for a while. And you believe that you may never hear from them again. So now I'm going to share with you the reasons why you may never hear from a narcissist again. Unfortunately, this has to be the number one reason, is that they've got new supply. They've got someone else who they think is better. And let me emphasize that, who they think is better. It may not be someone who seems better in your eyes. And just in general, to people in general, they may not seem better. This is how the narcissist is seeing it. And anything can be better to them once they've already ran you into the ground. Once they've been around you for a certain amount of time, then to them it looks like anyone is better. Because they've already drained you out. But before they got involved with you, you were their number one choice. You were their number one target. It's only once they ran you into the ground, then they're looking for someone else to replace you with. So do keep that in mind. And also, it's not really about the supply itself. They find gratification in switching partners, monkey branching, going from one person to the next. It's kind of like people who are addicted to TikTok videos. It's not really the videos that are entertaining them. It's when they're switching from one thing to the next. It's that newness, that novelty. That's what they're addicted to, rather than the individual videos, the individual content itself. And it's no different with the narcissist. They really get a kick out of switching from one person to the next. And a lot of times that's what they're doing with you. And so in some cases, they may come back to you at a later date. They may hoover you. But yeah, they constantly seek attention, validation, admiration, money, resources, sex. They need these things from people in order for them to survive emotionally. And maybe they've already drained you into the ground, so they can't get any more out of you. Which means that they have to go off to someone new. Because even they understand that at a certain level, that their presence is detrimental to you. Yes, they understand the effects that they have on people. So they know that by being around you for a certain amount of time, things aren't going to get any better for you. It's only going to get a lot worse. Mentally, physically, financially, in every sort of way, you're going to experience a decline, and they know that. They understand the effects their presence has on people. So they know they've got to take a break from you. And yeah, because they're so insatiable, they got to get that attention, validation, admiration, money, sex, resources. They've got to get these things from someone else now, a new source of supply. And yeah, once they've locked this person down, once they've secured them, they're typically going to let go of you. Not always, but a lot of times they will. If they haven't, it's not anything serious. They're not really interested in you. They're just toying with you. Like a cat toys with a mouse. Like a predator toys with its prey. They're playing the yo-yo game with you, the back and forth. Because that's all you become to them when they've got someone lined up. When they've got their sights on someone else and they're taking that seriously, you just become a toy for them to play with, to mess with, to torture, to act out their sadistic tendencies. So that's all that they're using you for now. If they are still entertaining you, it's not anything genuine, it's not anything serious. And of course, this may leave you wondering, how can someone be so sick? How can someone be so twisted, messed up to want to do that to someone and not think anything of it? Of course, it may make you wonder that. And you've got to understand, you're dealing with a predator, you're dealing with someone who's highly narcissistic, someone who doesn't care about anyone but themselves. All they care about is their false image. And yeah, at the drop of a hat, they will leave you. They will go off and find someone else. Anyone who will give them the social standing, support their reputation, their false image, make them look good. They will just sacrifice you, throw you under the bus for anyone who will do that for them. And that's how sometimes they can seem so heartless. And, I completely understand, I completely get it. I mean, it's like you invested all of your time into this person. You felt like you really got to know them. You felt like they really got to know you. And then by the end of it, it's like it never meant anything. It's like they never even knew you, saw you, heard you. So of course, it can be very upsetting, very offensive when they treat you in that way. Because it's like all of the months, all of the years that I invested into this person, into this relationship, did it not mean anything. So of course, I completely get that, but you've got to understand that you're dealing with someone who's mentally ill, someone who has a personality disorder. And so we shouldn't really be expecting decency from them. Because by doing that, of course, you're going to get yourself into trouble. You can't just go into the lion's cage and expect them not to eat you alive. You can't just expect them to do that. You're projecting your good nature onto them. And of course, they will play along with it for a certain amount of time as long as it's benefiting them. But then as soon as it isn't, they will drop you and go and find someone else. If this video is for you, let it be for you. And if it is for you, if it is resonate with you, please give it a thumbs up. Thank you. Now let me just take a seat here out of the sun a bit. Let's go to the next one. Another reason why you'll never hear from the narcissist again is because you set boundaries. Narcissists are very arrogant, audacious, entitled. They have massive egos. In their minds, they're like the most important person in the entire world. Forget about the billionaires. Forget about Elon Musk. They believe that they are number one. They believe that they are the greatest. And because of this mindset, which many of them probably got from social media, especially the female narcissist probably got it from a bunch of thousands of fat, bald old men who still live in their mother's basement. But never mind that, they're focused on quantity, not quality. So they may have all of these likes on their social media and they're taking it as though they are the best thing since sliced bread. That's how they're seeing it. So they expect you to do what they want you to do. They expect you to give them what they want, whenever they want you to give it to them, however they want it. That's what they expect from you. They view you as an object that exists to serve them. So they hate it when you set boundaries. They hate it when you say no. They hate it when you want to go off and do your own thing without them. Or any time that you need time to yourself. They hate that. And in their minds, it's unjustified. It's like, why can't you just give me all of your attention all of the time? Why can't you always be there for them? Why can't you give them everything that you've got? Why do you have to take care of yourself? This is how they see it, because they look at it as though any time you spend by yourself, any money you spend on yourself, that could have been money that you spent on them. That could have been time that you gave to them. They don't care about taking care about you, maintaining your mental health, maintaining your finances. No, they run people into the ground, and then once they're gone, then they just move on to the next one. That's what they do. They don't have empathy. They don't see things from your perspective or how it's affecting you. They can't connect to you in that way, on that deeper level. So you set a boundary, they take it as an attack on themselves, on their false character, the illusion. They don't have any compassion for you. They're not seeing it from your point of view. They're not seeing that you're going through something, you're hurt, you're confused, you're drained, exhausted. They're not looking at it like that. It's always all about themselves. It's all about how things are for them, by you saying no, by you taking care of yourself. So you set a boundary, and they take it as an attack. They hold a grudge, they experience resentment, and they use that to justify them cheating on you or them going off with someone else. And this is the thing, I mean, you could have been with them for years, decades. You could have invested all of your money into them, bought them a house, everything. But then the moment you say no, the moment you need to take care of yourself because you feel like you're dying inside, then everything before, it doesn't mean anything. It never mattered. They're only ever thinking about and looking at what you're doing right now. Forget about everything else that you did before. And so as soon as that happens, as soon as you can't take it anymore, then they just drop you. They just get rid of you. They look at it like, well, this person may have been loyal for all of those years. They may have done all of this stuff for me. But now they're not doing what I need. So why keep them around? It's just a liability. It's a hindrance to me. Just get rid of them. Drop them. That's how they look at it. So they just get rid of you. Because you set a boundary and they just see it as though that was unjustified. And it doesn't just stop with you, it happens with the next person too. They go from one person to the next, and the next, and the next. Drain the life out of them, drain their finances, everything. Until that person can't sustain them anymore, can't even sustain themselves. And when that happens, they don't stop to take care of that person. They drop them and then go on to the next. What I'm describing here is a typical thing that sociopaths in particular do. Sociopaths view people as a stepping stone. They don't care about them. They just use them to get to where they want to be. And then once they no longer serve a purpose, they drop them and find someone new. And many of you may have experienced this. You may be dealing with someone who maybe doesn't have full-blown sociopathy, but they may have sociopathic traits. So you may have witnessed elements of this. Give it a thumbs up if this is speaking to you, if this is resonating with your experience. Here's another one for you. You won't cure for the narcissist ever again. Why? Because they fear exposure. You know what happens when you get involved with a narcissist? When you get involved with anyone, you start to learn things about them. You start to know about their past, their relationships, their past relationships, their traumas, their secrets. You start to gather information that you could use to expose them. Especially once they've already devalued you, speared you, thrown you under the bus, betrayed you. You may be feeling tempted to expose them. And this is why they smear you. This is why they betray you. This is why they throw you under the bus. This is why they turn people against you for that reason. It's the whole point. It's out of fear. Out of fear that you are going to do that to them first. So they want to get you before you get them because they can dish it out but they can't take it. But they assume that if they get there first, that's going to hinder the ability and the effectiveness of you doing it. So this is a big part of it, is that they fear exposure and they see it as though their best option out of it is to blame you, smear you, and then just drop you. And just use the things that they've made up about you as an excuse for them leaving. And then other people just support them in them leaving you after everything that you invested in them, all of your loyalty and commitment, all of your money and resources, everything you gave away to them. And the narcissist can just say, well, you did this. So then they're able to just walk away and essentially steal from you. And people will support them in that. People will support them in them leaving you despite everything you've given, provided to them. It's a tactic that they all use because it is their way out, it is their exit plan. And of course, after a certain amount of time, they do get kind of worried. But you've invested so much into them, they start feeling very insecure because they realize no matter what they do, they could never repay you. And you are becoming maybe quite resentful yourself. You're starting to hold a grudge against them because you're just holding on to lies and future faking. They're never following any of it up with action. So you're getting really bitter and angry towards them now. And they only keep you around because you serve their needs. They don't want you to stop demanding things from them. They just keep you around to use you. And this is exactly what they do. They pick up the best of the best. And then they keep that person around just so they can use them up. Until finally there's nothing more to use. They can't use them anymore. And then they get rid of them. Then they're done. So yeah, they may have feared that you were about to expose them. That you were about to reveal all of their secrets, all of the things that you have seen from them. The things that they have done to you, the things that they have told you. They may be worried about that. And that's why they may just disappear. They may just be gone like a ghost. Never to be seen or heard from ever again. Because they fear that if they were to reveal themselves to you, you could use that against them. Here's another one. Another reason why you'll never cure from the narcissist ever again. And this is pretty sick. Even though what I've said already is pretty sick, but this is even worse, in my opinion. But they're punishing you with silence. And keep in mind, you know, the title, keep in mind the title of the video. This isn't a short silent treatment. They get you caught up, they get you invested, they get you infatuated with them. They get you to see them as your world. It's like you can't live without them. They become your life. It's like you have no life without them. You become dependent on them emotionally for validation. And they see that. They realize you're dependent. They make you that way. They get you to cut off everything else. Your hobbies, your interests, your friends, your family, and make your life about them. They become your sole source of influence. They control you like a puppet. So your entire life revolves around them. Everything you're thinking about all of the time is like, what would the narcissist think about this? What would the narcissist want me to do? Maybe the narcissist would like to go on this trip next year. That's all you're thinking about is the narcissist. So the narcissist becomes your life. They become your world. And it's like the only reason you're alive. Because that's how they want it to be. They want you to live for them. And so without them, you will feel lost. You will feel so confused. It's that pathological loneliness. You won't know what to do with your life. You'll just feel purposeless. And so they use this silence to punish you. And this isn't just a short-term silence. No. They're never coming back. Because they want you to live with that pain for the rest of your life. And they never want you to get over it. They want the rest of your life to just be you thinking, focusing about them. Wishing that they would come back, longing and yearning for them. And to make it even worse, they may imply that they're going to come back. And they'll kind of tease you. They might go back and forth, sending you little text messages. But they already know in their minds that they're never coming back. You're never going to have them like that ever again. And they use this to torture you. They use this to drive you crazy. This is what they do. Because they're heartless. Because they're miserable people. Because they're losers. Because they have no life. Because their life revolves around hurting you. So this is what they do. But this is what they do. And this may be what has been done, what is being done, or what will be done to you. This is what many of you may have to go through. And it is one of the most cruel things that a person can do. The way that they make themselves your world. They make your life revolve around them. Everything is about them. And you're constantly just trying to make them happy. You're seeking their validation. Just doing anything that you can so that they will finally be pleased with you. You change everything about yourself. And then they disappear. Right when you're at that peak of exertion, effort, then they pull away. Yeah, they love that moment. When they can see you're trying as hard as you can. And then they're just gone. And they're just thinking in their minds, I wonder how long it's going to take for them to fall apart. I wonder how long it's going to take until they just take their own lives. Until they feel like they've got nothing to live for. Until they feel like they'll never be good enough for anyone, because that's exactly how I wanted them to think. That's what they're thinking in their minds. And yeah, it's what they do. It's cruel, it's sadistic. It's what they do. This is what people are like, you know, when they have no empathy, and they're self-absorbed, or they can't even connect to you. It's really messed up. And I myself, this is something I could never identify with, I could never relate to, because I am the type of person, when I know that someone needs me, I will do whatever it takes to make it happen, to be who they need me to be. And if we ever argue, if we ever fight, I can't even go to sleep at night without knowing that their minds are at rest. But these people are sick. These people, they're so miserable in their minds. So much chaos is going on in there that they can't rest unless your mind is messed up. This is how it is, and this is how we can't relate with them. Because we keep healing, we keep growing, we keep getting better. But yeah, this is what they do, and I'm so sorry for you if you're going through this. And I guess my advice would be to realize that this is just a fantasy. These people are empty. They have no true personality. You're not missing out on anything with them. Just remember how they treated you, how they manipulated, deceived you, left you holding on for lies and future faking, things that never even came into fruition. And just remind yourself of that they're not even worth thinking about, crying about. You deserve so much better than that, you really do. And you remind yourself of that every day. Because I'm telling you, this is the truth. And I'm not just saying this to make victims feel better, even though of course it will make you feel better. But I'm saying this because it is the truth. It really is. I mean, these people are empty inside. And they lack empathy. They just didn't even care about you, what you were going through. You don't need someone like that in your life. You deserve so much better than that, really. '93 live viewers, give it a thumbs up if this is helping you so far. It's just going to get worse, I'm afraid. Here's the final reason for you. Why you may never hear from the narcissist ever again. It's because they believe that they finally finished the job. They believe that they finally done you in. They believe that they finally finished you. That you're done for good. They destroyed you. And they don't think there's any signs of you coming back now. They believe that they have messed you up so bad, mentally, emotionally, just in all sorts of ways. They believe they screwed you up to the point where you can't ever move on. You're not ever going to heal. Things aren't ever going to get better for you. And so they can move on happily now. Well, not happily, but more peacefully, knowing that you're never going to come back now. And you're gone, you're done. It puts their minds at rest to some degree. Thank you for the donation, P-Beast. Really appreciate it. But yeah, they think you're all done, they think you're finished, so they're not too worried about you. They don't need to see you anymore, they don't even need to come back. They may stop stalking you. And again, you know, how can someone be so cruel, so sadistic? It's because they didn't target you because they wanted to build a connection. They envied you. They wanted to be you. They wanted to steal everything that you were, everything that you had. And that's why they did exactly that. They robbed you. And it's kind of like, if you imagine a child playing with a toy, and then another child comes along and tries to take it out of their hands, but then the child who owns the toy snatches it back. The other child may just then destroy the toy so that no one can have it, no one can be happy and have fun. Because they can't get it, they can't steal it. And this is what the narcissist does. If you are setting boundaries, if you're strong, if you're powerful, if they can't take it from you, and you know, they can never take it from you, they can't be you, they can steal your stuff, they can discredit you and pretend to be you, but they're never going to be you. That's never going to happen. It's only going to be a fantasy in their minds. And so what happens is they just end up trying to destroy you so that no one can be you, and so that it subsides their pain of not getting to be you, not getting to have what you have, not getting to live your life, because they're not happy with themselves, they're not happy with their lives. They'd rather be you. They'd rather live your comfortable life. They'd rather have your success, your attractiveness. They'd rather do what you do. But since they can't, they just try and destroy you. It's kind of like you are a mirror, and when you are succeeding, when you're living your best life, you reflect in a very ugly image back to them. It just makes them feel like they're just absolute losers. Like they're not really doing anything with their lives, like they're not really anything. That's what it makes them feel. So what do? They grab a rock and just throw it at the mirror, crack it. They try and destroy it, the reflection. Because they can't take what's making them feel insecure. They can't become that. So they begin to hate and resent it. They turn against it. They want to destroy it. They want to destroy you. And that becomes their mission from that point on, once they realize that they can't have what they want from you and that they can't be you. Their mission from that point on is just to destroy you. Because they wanted to use you to complete their false self, to patch up their insecurities. And when they realized that they couldn't do that, then it was all about destroying you, making it out like you're not you anymore, and they're more you than you are. And that's how it's like a personality swap. By the end of it, you become unstable, maybe unhinged, confused, as they were before. And then they become more calm, cool, and collected. And that isn't a coincidence of how they just suddenly seem to become more like you and you become more like them. This is more than just energy, than spirituality. This is real psychology. This is real. And not to say that spirituality isn't real, but we actually have proof, evidence of this. So this is what is actually happening. They are trying to become you. And they are taken from you and destroying you. And yeah, that becomes their mission, and once it's done, it's mission accomplished for them. They feel like they've stamped you out. They put out the fire. It's no longer burning them. And so they can walk away without regrets. Without feeling like you've gotten away. Without having the jealousy, the bitterness, resentment, feelings of unfairness. They feel more calm then. Because they steal that sense of calm and comfort from you by destroying you. Because they can't generate it from within. They've got nothing to be happy about within themselves. So this is what they do. And yeah, when they feel like they've destroyed you, they're not going to come back. The moment that they start to see that things are getting better for you, you're healing, moving on, that's when they'll come back. And so even when you do begin to heal, even when things do get better for you, it's like there really isn't much to look forward to, because then people like this keep coming around you. As long as you've got something, they're going to be after you. That's how it is. But yeah, these are the reasons why a narcissist may not come back, why you won't hear from them again. And you haven't lost anything of value. You haven't lost a meaningful connection, the love of your life. It's nothing like that. They were just using you, abusing you, stealing from you. That's all that it was. And when they couldn't do that anymore, that's when they go. Because that's all they're using you for. And then they go off and they find someone else who's more of a fool, someone who they can use even more, someone who will tolerate the abuse, someone who's just more of a provider for them, someone who's not going to oppose their toxic ways, someone who's going to let them run wild, because that's all they're really looking for. And that's why you may see them downgrade, because that's who they're going to have the most control over. It's someone who hasn't really got anything much going on in their lives. Someone who doesn't really have a purpose of their own. Someone who hasn't really got anything to look forward to. Someone who's maybe more desperate, more foolish. Someone who's going to let them do whatever they want. Things that you didn't accept. Things that you wouldn't tolerate. They're going to go off and find someone who will. So you're not missing out on anything. You're missing out on things that you didn't want to be a part of. Things that you try to change. But now they can go off and just be their true selves with someone else, someone who will accept and tolerate it. The things that you wouldn't. Give it a thumbs up if this has been good for you so far. Squarebo Silverado Rebel Hellblazer says, they play God and try to rewrite the script for your destiny. That's right, in their minds they do believe that they are gods. They don't think that anything is above or greater than them. If they did, they would behave very differently. If they really believe that, they would follow certain rules, but they don't. Because they don't really believe in anything greater. There is nothing to keep them in line. There is nothing to stop them from doing what they're doing. There's nothing that stops them from hurting people. And, it's not that I need to have God in my life so that I don't go around harming anyone. I have something inside of me that just tells me not to do that. I get a feeling that tells me that it's wrong. But also, God can be a helpful part of that as well. But yeah, they haven't got God in their lives. There's no one to direct, guide them. But that's the thing, because even if you try to, they don't listen. So it's not that they don't have a role model, they don't have anyone to guide them. They do. That's what we try to do. They don't listen to us. So don't blame yourself for that. You shouldn't have to tell someone to stop abusing you every day of your life. PB says, but in public they act completely different. I was like, they're better than everyone, or this fabulous person. I mean, that's the same with everyone, really, of course, you know. Pretty much everyone does act differently in public, but yeah, I know what you mean. I mean, they're very abusive when no one's looking. But then they have like the split personality. It's like they have multiple personalities. They can live 3, 4, 10 different lives. And they're a completely different character in each. Doing completely different things. Because there's no real core identity. They will change themselves up and just follow anything wherever the attention is. Whatever just makes them feel attractive, desirable, powerful. So there's no stable identity there. And that's how, you know, it's kind of like a switch goes off. It's like all of a sudden, they could be a certain way with you in public, at a restaurant, at an event. And then it's like the moment the car door closes, they just switch it up on you. They're a completely different person. They're abusive. Like a second later, it's incredible. Or they could be abusing you, and then maybe someone calls them on the phone, maybe someone walks through the door, and they just change instantly. And I'm sure that's a pivotal moment for so many of you. It's like when you see that switch, because a lot of people, especially if they're not victims, they don't get to see the switch. Where it's like 1 minute they're this person, then the next second it's a completely different person. And then maybe a few minutes later they switch back. But yes, as victims, we get to see the real of how they just switch back and forth instantly. And of course, that should remind you that they don't have a core identity. It's selective. It depends on who they're dealing with. Lorraine Diane says, if they can't look you in the eye when talking to you, they're either shy or shady. Yeah, that's true. I mean, some narcissists, they will avoid looking at you in the eyes because they're hiding something that they've done or that was done to them that they don't want to be revealed. But then also, I mean, narcissists who are higher in the spectrum, psychopaths, they will look you dead in the eyes. They will make very strong eye contact and they won't look away. And they will show firm conviction in their eyes as though it was the truth because they're delusional. Many of them often believe their own lies, or because they've just learned what to do. They've learned that if you look away, if you turn away from eye contact, that means you're lying. But actually, here's an interesting thing for you. When someone is quite avoidant, when they're looking away, when they don't maintain eye contact, it could be a sign that they are a victim. Many of you may have done this. So it's not always that they are a narcissist. Sometimes yes, but not always. When you're studying people's behavior, you want to look for clusters. You don't just focus on one thing, such as an eye twitch, excessive blinking, or a shift in the tone of their voice. That doesn't mean anything. You have to look for clusters in their body language. And even then, it can be very difficult to determine exactly what is going on. I mean, it's only really in an interrogation where you can then pick up on clusters in a person's body language to reveal if they are being deceptive. So it's not ever that simple. PB says, zero accountability ever in their life. Exactly, that's how you know that someone is fake. If they can't even be accountable, honest, then it's like, who are you? Who are you if you did not do this? If this is not true, then who are you? You're no one. Because you don't even connect to your own actions or even your own feelings. So, yeah, without accountability, it just reveals that they never show up as themselves. There's something else. And like I said, you know, that whatever will get them attention, whatever they think will. And whatever will get them a negative attention, they'll typically avoid that. Amanda Surley says, I could see he was very insecure, anxious, and depressed behind the facade. He was betraying. Didn't tell him that though, obviously, I just observe. Well, what's going on there when you see a narcissist who's clearly very insecure, but they're like, no, I'm not insecure. I'm not... I'm not worried about anything, or they just act like there's nothing wrong, or as though they've had a perfect childhood, nothing's wrong in their lives. They have no mental health issues, nothing. Usually that's going to be an overt narcissist. They are the ones who act like that, the ones who are more grandiose. Or it could also be a covert narcissist who wants to be seen as something. This is typically if you're alone with them. If you're alone, then, well, actually no, also in public sometimes too. Sometimes, yes, covert narcissist may act that way as well. If they see that they can use it to their advantage. It depends on the situation. But yeah, they will just act like nothing's wrong. They will act like there's nothing that they're insecure about, nothing that worries them, nothing that they don't like about themselves. And that can often just be part of the manipulation. They see it as though if they do reveal certain things about themselves, you're not going to like them, you're not going to want anything to do with them. But that is one of the biggest red flags. If someone is coming to you and you're asking them about their childhood, and it's like, no, nothing went wrong there, no issues, no insecurities, nothing they want to change or improve about themselves, everything's good, all smiles, all happy. For a start, nobody's perfect. So at some point you're going to uncover these flaws, which we all have. You're going to learn about their childhood, and typically whatever someone's like putting forth, if they got all big smiles, act so happy, everything's good, is everything perfect? That's typically the very thing that they're insecure about. And that's why they're overcompensating to try to hide it, because they want to bury it down, they want to suppress it. And another thing to consider, the person's coming to you and it's like, yeah, my past has been perfect, I feel good about myself, nothing was ever wrong, there's nothing I don't really like about myself. Naturally in relationships there are problems, things go wrong, So what do you think is going to happen when something goes wrong? Whose fault do you think it's going to be? In order for them to maintain that facade, it's going to be you. And especially, like I said earlier, this is the case with sociopaths. This is what they do. They're always flawless, faultless. They never done anything wrong. It's always someone else. COVID narcissists too. It's always someone else's problem, someone else's fault. Nothing to do with me. My shit doesn't stink. It's the mentality. And that's why I say this is one of the biggest red flags of any narcissist. No one's ever going to be that confident. No one's ever going to be that sure of themselves. No one's ever going to appear in that way if they're real. People are normally shy. People are normally not so forward with things. People are unsure of themselves. Even me, I've been doing this, studying about this for over 7 years. You think there's things I don't know about? You think I'm not constantly watching videos every day and just trying to learn more? Of course I am. So it's never a time where you've got everything sorted out, everything's figured out, everything's done. It's never going to happen. And the smartest people in this world, they are the ones who think that way. The stupidest ones, who are really going to get you into a lot of trouble in life, are the ones who think the opposite way. So, yeah, that's really not a good thing. Especially you pick it up in it, that there is some inconsistency, incongruency there. Some contradictions. I mean, not always, but a lot of times it reveals that they don't accept themselves. They don't accept themselves. They're fighting against themselves, they're resisting themselves, they don't want to connect to themselves, their emotions. They're disconnected, disassociated. Maybe they don't know who they are, they haven't got a firm, stable identity. That's what that reveals. Age says they feel good, they get a fresh start, just get that admiration from someone else. They didn't realize that they didn't even have the energy to keep up the game with a new person. They're dead souls. Another red flag. I mean, anytime you see someone who needs so much attention, validation, and they're like attention whores, attention seekers, you think that's suddenly going to stop? When you get in a relationship with them, when you marry them, you think all of a sudden, you're going to turn a hoe into a housewife? It's not going to happen. I mean, I'm not saying it can't ever happen. Yes, okay, sometimes it can. But even then, it's going to take at least months, years even, to turn that around, to grow, to mature. In most cases, you can't turn a hoe into a housewife. Doesn't matter if it's a man or woman. They're not going to just suddenly change their personalities overnight. Just because you decided to marry them. Just because you decided to have children with them. Just because you're with them. It's not going to be that simple. Typically, they're going to stay that way even while you're in a relationship. And if you don't like it, they're going to hide that from you. And they're going to look for excuses, opportunities to go out and get that attention from other sources as well. And typically, they're not going to admit that to you up front. Unless, of course, you're dealing with someone higher on the spectrum, maybe a psychopath. They may just tell you right away exactly who they are, exactly what they intend to do. But usually they're going to hide it. Especially, of course, if you're dealing with a covert narcissist. It's usually the loudmouth overts. They're the ones who are just going to tell you whatever, not really going to care about what you think. And well, you already know what to expect from them up front so that you can protect yourself. It's really the covert narcissists who are more dangerous because you don't even know who you're dealing with. You don't even know what they're capable of. At least I can have some respect for an overt narcissist. I mean, at least they tell you what you're getting yourself into. So that's something, you know. They have some level of true confidence. Geneva Cordova says, of course, they are always the victim. Yes, they are always the victims. Kovenas says it's always someone else's fault. So it's someone who did them wrong. All they can really do is project. They don't know themselves. They don't want to know themselves. They don't want anything to do with themselves. So just push themselves outwards then. Just avoid that self-connection. That's why they never grow. So many comments here, unfortunately I can't get through all of them. But I'm reading what you're saying, Keir, some very interesting things. Good to see all of this engagement. We really do have an amazing community on Q. PB says it's so cringy, seeing how he acts in public because it's so fake and the worst act. Oh, it is. I mean, you know, everything's in the moment with them. They're not expecting you to think about all of the things that were done to you before. But if you do, then it's just disgust. It's so cringy. It's like, how could he be so fake? How could he not think that I don't even remember what you're really like? That's what it's like with them. Because they just switch it up for attention, you know. It's well, that's a good sign, you know, when you do cringe, when you do feel disgust, that does mean that you are healing. Because remember, there used to be a time where you were into that, you liked it. So once you start to turn away from it, once it starts to turn you off, that means you're healing from the toxicity. Because it's not normal to you anymore, it's not doing anything for you. So that's a good sign. Because remember, we used to be attracted to that, we used to want some of that. And, you know, as psychologist Ross Rosenberg says, what is it that really helps you to detect narcissism and turns you off from it? It's your self-love. They can't get to you without targeting your self-love. That's the only way they can get in. They can only be around people who do not love themselves. If you love yourself, there is a wall there. And they can't get over that wall. The Crocs makeup artist says, Narc Survivor loves all your comments. Yes, I do. I love the engagement on here. I love this amazing community that we have built, you know, where we can all share our thoughts, our experiences, and just help each other to grow, heal, and to just move on from these losers, because, you know, that's all that they are. It's like, you know, we are like these winners climbing up the mountain, climbing up Mount Everest, and they're just hanging on to your ankles, and it's like, they're just weighing you down. They're just holding you back from your dreams, your potential, because they're not helping you to grow, but you're helping them. Like the Taylor Swift song, you just gotta shake these people off. Shake them right off. Anyway, I think that's good for this video. This is it. This explains why you'll never hear from the narcissist again. It's because they've got new supply, what they deem to be better, greater in some way, serves them better, gives them more of what they want. What is their supply? It's attention, validation, admiration, money, resources, sex, maybe a place to stay, maybe a car, I don't know. Whatever it is that they're looking for, whatever it is that they need, whatever it is that supports the false image and makes them feel real, that's their supply. It's all about their image, status, reputation. It's fake, but you got to believe in it, you got to validate it. And if they feel like they've got a better source elsewhere, then they can leave you. And especially if you set boundaries, and then because they fear exposure, they may be punishing you with silence, and they may believe that they have destroyed you. So this is it. This is the 5 reasons why you may never hear from the narcissist again. But yeah, I hope this video was good for you. If it was, please give it a thumbs up. And let me know your thoughts, and if you've got any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. Let's start a discussion. Subscribe if you're new, click on notifications so that you'll be notified when I go live again. If you would like guidance and support your healing journey, you can book a one-on-one with me by going to narcsurvivor.co.uk. And your donations are greatly appreciated, no matter how small. You can donate by going to paypal.me/narcsurvivor. Also, you can follow me on my Instagram. It is Narc Survivor YouTube. Lots more content on there. And got some news for you. Next month, I will be flying out to the Philippines. Going back there again. And this time exploring a new city, a new island. I think I did mention the other day that I was thinking about it, and now it's confirmed. It's where I'll be next month. So hopefully some new sights, some new parks, beaches. Can't wait to do a beach video again. Feels so peaceful and relaxing, rather than just being in the city all the time. So I'm really looking forward to that and sharing the new content with you. Unfortunately, this is my last month with Nala before I go. And of course, you know, I'm going to miss her a lot. And I'm just trying to make the most of every day before I do go. Because honestly, it's the one thing that really gets me, you know. When I do travel, leaving Nala behind, you know, I miss her so much. She's such good company. And she likes to star in the videos sometimes. But unfortunately, yes, Nala has to be left behind. But we will be back together again soon. And it's that missing someone that really lets you know just how much you love them. But those who aren't narcissists, at least. But yeah, that's the plan for next month anyway. Thank you all for watching. Live at the Murtaker 118 TRX Tower. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for joining me. And I will talk to you in another video very soon.